Do you know that your brain has a specific style for learning language? ئایا ئەزانیت کە مێشکت ستایلی تایبەتی هەیە بۆ فێربوونی زمانێک؟ And that your learning style affects if you should focus on grammar sooner or later? ستایلی فێربوونەکەت کاریگەری هەیە لەسەر ئەگەر ئەبێت تەرکیز بکەیت لەسەر ڕێزمان زوو یان درەنگ? Knowing this can save you from a lot of frustration as you learn the English language. So, ba dest pê bikەین, let's get started. In general, I have seen that language students have two kinds of minds. بەگشتی بینومە کە تەلەبێ زمان دوو جۆری مێشک هەیە. One kind of mind needs to start speaking very quickly and won't accept grammar until much later. This kind of mind is like a pomegranate tree. وەکو دارێکی هەنار وایە. A young pomegranate tree doesn't need a trellis in order to grow. پێویست بە کەپر نییە بۆ گەشەکردن. But after it starts growing fruit, then its branches become very heavy and it needs support. So later, a pomegranate tree needs support because of how heavy its fruit is. If your mind is like a pomegranate tree, then it doesn't want and it doesn't need a lot of grammar information in the beginning. Your mind just wants to be free with listening and speaking and using your new language. Only later, after your mind has learned a lot, will it start wanting some more structure, some grammar rules. باشترە بۆ ئەم ستایلی فێربوون ئەگەر تەلەبەکە زۆر تەرکیز ناکات لەسەر ڕێزمان لە سەرەتایە. But the other half of my students have a different kind of mind. Their mind is much more like a grapevine, وەکو مێویک. A grapevine needs a trellis from the beginning so that it can grow. مێوەی ترێ پێویست بە کەپر لە سەرەتایە بۆ ئەوەی ئەتوانێت گەشە بکات. If your mind is like this, then early on in your lessons it wants and it needs to know the structure of the language, the grammar rules. If your mind doesn't have this structure, then it feels very difficult to receive new words or even to be able to speak sentences. But after you know some structure, you feel more relaxed and free to learn and to be able to speak. بۆ ئەم جۆرە قوتابیە ئەوە باشترە ئەگەر زوو تەرکیز بکات لەسەر ڕێزمان. All of this is important because teachers' minds are also like this. So, if they are more like a pomegranate tree, then they teach all their students like they are all pomegranate trees. And if the teacher is more like a grapevine, then they teach all their students like they are all grapevines also. But any group of students will be a mix of both. Half will be thirsty for grammar very early in their studies, and the other half will not want any grammar for a very long time. This is normal. It is the way that our minds are designed and have grown. The important thing is for the student to know which kind of mind he has and to study in that way, and for the teacher to provide teaching for both kinds of students. On this channel, I do not focus as much on grammar because I know that most English teachers in Kurdistan focus too much on grammar and not enough on conversation. But we will still have some videos that focus on grammar because I know that some of my students have minds that are like grapevines and they need that structure, that kapr, in order to feel free to learn and receive new information. So, which style are you? Do you love learning the rules of grammar? Are you a grapevine? Or do you love learning how to talk right away and you don't like grammar? Are you a pomegranate tree? Knowing your style will help you make a better plan for learning English. Until tomorrow, هتا سبینه، خواحافظ.